urging the NBA Election Appeal Committee to nullify the election and order a fresh one. In a petition dated the 27th of July 2026, Mr. Akogbe has alleged that the July 18 election was marred by widespread irregularities, including the malfunctioning of the electronic voting platform, the non-receipt of one-time passwords, the OTPs by eligible voters, the use of multiple voting websites, and the extension of the voting period beyond the advertised deadline. Is contesting the declaration of Mrs. Onyekonsola Badejo Kusanya, senior advocate of Nigeria, as a winner of the election. Badejo Kusanya was declared elected by the Electoral Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association after polling 12,317 votes, representing 47% of the total votes cast. My guest tonight on the program is the national chairman of the APC, and so much to talk about the state of the nation. Is our country drifting off the fingers of the APC-led government, and how do they look Nigerians in the eye ahead of the 2027 election? They're saying that the election of Osun State governorship election is a must-win one. Is it a do-or-die affair for the APC? We'll be speaking with the national chairman of the APC. Of course, I have update for you on the litigation over the possible deregistration of the ADC. What come out of the court today? I'll be bringing you details after I serve you with some of your political roundup stories.
Online publisher and presidential candidate of the African Alliance Congress, Omoyele Sowore, has jettisoned his plan to invite the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Oluwatosin Ajayi, as his witness in his ongoing trial for alleged criminal defamation of President Bola Tinubu on social media. Mr. Sowore told the Federal High Court, Abuja, that the evidence for which he had earlier subpoenaed the DSS boss could not be obtained from any other official of the service. At the day's proceedings, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi led the prosecution on behalf of the federal government. The ruling All Progressives Congress has expressed its determination to win the Osun State governorship election as part of efforts to extend the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu to the people of the state. Speaking in Abuja at the inauguration of the party's National Campaign Council for the election, the national chairman of the party, Nentawe Yilwada, explained that the party will mobilize resources, coordinate people, and move into Osun in large numbers in order to ensure victory for the party. He adds that by the time each governor in the Southwest, South-South and Southeast take responsibility for one senatorial district, alongside the National Assembly members, House of Assembly members and local government chairmen carrying out person-to-person campaigns across the state, and the governors from the north also coming with their local government chairmen, councillors, House of Assembly members and National Assembly members, the party will coast home to victory. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani has announced the nomination of one Mr. Jerry Adams, the executive chairman of the Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service, as his running mate for the 2027 Kaduna State governorship election. According to the governor, the nomination reflects his administration's commitment to inclusion, justice, fairness, and equitable representation across the state. He said the decision underscores his belief in rewarding confidence, integrity, and dedicated public service. Governor Sani describes Adams as an accomplished public servant, institution builder, and respected tax administrator whose leadership at CADES has strengthened the state's fiscal capacity through reforms aimed at improving internally generated revenue and public financial management. President Bola Tinubu has ordered the armed forces, the Nigerian police force, and relevant intelligence agencies to intensify operations aimed at tracking down those responsible for the deadly attack on Nat'l village in Kamaru ward of Kauru local government area of Kaduna State. The president also reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthening the country's security architecture and dismantling criminal networks threatening national peace and stability. Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak says the All Progressives Congress in the state is waxing stronger and poised to deliver overwhelming victory at the 2027 general elections. Speaking in Ilorin at the APC Youth Engagement 2026, the governor recounts on how his administration inherited a collapsed system in 2019 and how it has been able to fix them pledging not to drop the ball. Parading the candidates for various elective offices before the party stalwarts, the governor described the Speaker, Kwara State House of Assembly, and governorship candidate Salihu Danladi as a highly competent and experienced politician to govern the state come 2027.
All right, then there you have it, your political roundup stories. Let's tell you that the Court of Appeal in Abuja today set aside a judgment that directed the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister the African Democratic Congress, ADC, and 4 other political parties over allegations that they failed to meet constitutional requirements. In a unanimous decision by a 3-member panel of justices, the Appellate Court held that the order issued by the Federal High Court on the 15th of June was a nullity. In the lead judgment delivered by Justice Abba Mohammed, the court held that the trial court wrongly assumed jurisdiction and issued the order on the basis of an incompetent suit filed by a non-juristic entity. According to the court, there was no valid suit before the Federal High Court that could have warranted a consequential order directing INEC to deregister the affected political parties. The Appellate Court noted that the trial court failed to properly evaluate the evidence before it, stressing that proof showing the parties had won elective positions in previous elections was ignored. Before the campaign, all right then, let's jump into it. We are getting into the heat of the moment leading up to the 2027 elections, but before the campaign posters begin to go up and the political rallies gather momentum, the battle for 2027 is already being fought in the court of public opinion. The economy remains under intense pressure. Security continues to dominate national discourse, and questions about the health of Nigeria's democracy are growing louder as opposition leaders accuse the APC of shrinking the democratic space, pursuing power at all costs, and steering the country towards one-party dominance. The ruling party insists the reforms are laying the foundation for long-term prosperity and that political realignment reflect democratic choices, not coercion. So, where is Nigeria really headed? Can President Bola Tinubu convince Nigerians that the sacrifices of today will deliver the promise of tomorrow? Is the Tinubu-Shetima ticket already settled for 2027? And how does the APC answer the growing criticism from Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and other opposition figures? Let's get talking with one man that is leading Nigeria's ruling political party, the APC. It's Professor Nentawe Yotwada, the national chairman of the APC. Prof, it's a pleasure having you on your tonight.
Good meeting you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon.
I mean, looking at my diary, it was almost exactly a day or 2 days, a year since you got into office.
Yeah.
And I remember chasing you down to get an interview with you right in your office. Exactly. And it was just a few minutes before this program started that day.
1 year, 2 days now.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Great. Great. The pressure, yeah. But the success is great. Mm. So to me, 1 year down the line, the things that we promised the party when I became the chairman of the party, we fulfilled most of them. In terms of, number one, getting the party to be stable. The party is stable. Growing the party. We've grown the party in number, in bounds. Increased the number of high-profile politicians into the party. Low-profile politicians, building the grassroots mobilization of the party. We've done that. Getting the membership registration digitized. We've done that. Winning more elections. We've done that. Getting Nigerians to appreciate our party more and more people join the party. We've done that. So almost everything that we needed to do when we came in and we promised and we committed to do, we've done it.
Except for the fact that it does look like you have become a political engineer who came to almost re-engineer Nigeria political space into a one-party state. That is how things have. Was the mandate for you to come and turn APC the only political party of reckoning? Is that the agenda you were given?
Rather, to make APC the most attractive political party, that every politician will look at APC, will appreciate it, and will make it a preferred destination for political victory. That's what we've done. Mobilize our members, make the party more organized, make it more structured, make the internal governance of the party, and also prepare the machineries for winning elections, mobilizing people, structuring from top to bottom. I think that's what that's what we've done, and every politician will look at that. Will see the political party. How is the party structured? What's the internal, governance of the party itself? In terms of party governance, APC is doing very well. In terms of also structures to win election, APC is doing very well. In terms of also man management and internal, management of crisis with the party, APC has done very well. I'm not saying that we're perfect. We may have some local internal issues, but we have way of resolving them. And so we have minimal crisis within the party. I mean, that's the most important thing.
You heard the conversation with Mr. Peter Obi, who felt like your party and this government, the atmosphere which political parties operate under this government is horrific, is horrible. And the record under this government, as though this government does not want political party in the opposition to thrive. Does that make your party feel more comfortable? What are you worried about? What are you scared of? Who are you afraid of? Are you afraid of your own shadow in the APC? That's why you are chasing after opposition figures and all, after everyone that means anything in the political opposition to come into your... If you don't come, then you almost kill the rest of the political parties. Is that your game? Is that your plan?
Sheon, nobody in APC chase Peter Obi out of PDP. Nobody from APC. Nobody from APC chase Obi out of Labour Party. Nobody in APC chase him out of Labour Party to ADC. People chase out of ADC again to NDC. Instead of moving from his party long before now, during the time of President Jonathan in 2014. You mean that APC has been the person chasing him from 2015 till date, when we're even opposition?
But those who say the ends of your party is in the crisis of Labour Party, the ends of your party is in the crisis in the ADC, the ends of your party is in the crisis in NNPP, the ends of your party is in almost the crisis. The deregistration plan, lawsuit, those who are linked to your party. Isn't that the signal that is very delicate for our country?
Shewan, let me ask you a question. In 2013, when APC started, what the choice of looking for a political party? But we decided to start early, galvanize early in 2012, after the election, get the party registered, and move on. But this is a group of people who have a self-inflicted wound. Every day they move from party to party. But let me just ask you, let me just give you the chronology and the difference. In 2013, there was an individual who was not looking for a position, was not contesting for presidency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2013. Became the leader of the party, became the rallying point of the party. But what we are having in 2023 till date are people who are looking for platform to win elections. When he left Labour Party, he moved to ADC. He came to ADC, he discovered that he couldn't get an automatic ticket. And that's why he left to NDC. And in NDC now, he has got his ticket. So why, if we wanted to destabilize Obi, we would have stopped him from getting a ticket if we were the people doing it, if we have a chance. But we don't have that control. And there's no single member of APC that is ADC. No single member of APC that is NDC. Let me just even add that. You will see me following up of recent. I'm following up some of the ADC and NDC high-profile politicians in their houses to decamp. The same people who are fighting us are moving and going around the houses. Some on social media, some are on TV. These are opposition leaders that are against us. But I'm going to their homes daily and talk to them. to come to my party, come and tell me, just ask me one person that you've seen Peter Obi or Atiku or any of the party chairman for the opposition going to the home of any APC member, National Assembly member, to meet them and ask them to come to their party. You see us moving from state to state.
So you were hunting for...
Of course we do it. We move around.
Was that your major plan?
Of course.
You wanted to
mobilize? Of course. You know,
was it part of the briefing that you got from President Tinubu?
That's even the role. That's my role as National Party chairman. It's part of my role.
To recruit
of course,
more people?
To galvanize and mobilize the party.
And is it true also that anybody that now comes into your party, all their corrupt practice and their corrupt history is over?
Never.
They now become saints when they never want to get into your party?
Most people who are in APC are still being prosecuted.
So no corrupt persons sins will be forgiven?
None.
That's not it. Because the perception is very dire. And Professor, your party is saying people are freely joining the APC.
If you want to,
because of President Bola Tinubu's leadership. You said that to me a few times.
Yeah.
Yet opposition leaders argue that Nigeria is witnessing a dangerous concentration of political party through defections, weakening democratic competition. Can you honestly say Nigerians should not worry about this perception? Would the APC still celebrate these defections if they were all happening in the opposite direction, if it was affecting you?
Now, let me just ask the same question to you. We have many people in the APC who left our party, high-profile people who left our party to ADC, some to NDC, and they get them tickets.
You know the reason why they said they left?
And I know some of them.
You know the reason why some of them said they left?
Some of them left even far before the primary elections.
No, they said that the state of the nation was drifting under the watch of this government.
No.
And your party was destroying the country.
Which means that same assertion that you made, that people are defecting to APC and we're narrowing the space. And we have some of our party members who couldn't get space in the APC. Some wanted to contest positions. They discovered they could not compete favorably in the, within the space. And they decided to move and get tickets, because almost everybody that moved from our party to this NDC, NDC, ADC, and other political parties, they moved to go and get tickets. Not as if they moved, and most of them don't move with their members. And that's how we look at the strength of the party. And very few, very negligible people move within that space. So, but why are they not blaming us? Why are they not blaming those people that move to their parties? They celebrate everybody that comes to their party. The same Peter Obi is celebrating, I'm sure of them that moved to their party. They've been celebrating them and calling it victory for democracy. But when they leave their party to our party, they call it that democracy is a threat. So when is APC they're succeeding, democracy is a threat. When is NDC or Labour Party or opposition that's succeeding, democracy is succeeding. Because
the tendencies are also, and the optics are not looking good. Prof, there are those who argue that the APC is pursuing what is the so-called win at all costs strategy, pointing to aggressive defections, institutional dominance, and using the power of the state to hoodwink and to coerce people and just to increase the party's numerical strength. Can you categorically assure Nigerians that the APC will never use the advantages of incumbency to influence the outcome of the next election? Because this is the fear that people have, that your party has already put in place strategy to rig the next elections.
Sheon, we had by-elections. We lost some of them. We lost governorship in Anambra, and people celebrated it. We lost some National Assembly positions. Even in Ibadan, we lost the National Assembly seat. People celebrated it. We lost to NNPP in Kano by-election. People celebrated it. We lost even the council election in FCT here to PDP. People celebrated. Why is it that when we win, it's now becoming, must we lose the election before democracy is celebrated? Sheon, give it us. We organize more rallies. You've been watching television. How many times do you see NDC or ADC organizing rally in any state? Once, apart from having TV shows, press conference, coming to meet you here to be interviewed. But almost every day, you see us going around the states. We have our campaign council for Osun inaugurated. Apart from the state campaign council, why did you see national campaign council of the other political parties? Have they organized one? None. But they still blame us when we win. I've been to Osun more than 3 times to walk around the people, move and see what's happening in the state. I've invited the stakeholders to interact with them. I've engaged people that lost the election in Osun several times, invited them, have discussion with them.
Have you met Senator Ijelo Mishori?
Even today I was with him.
What are the prospects?
In short, he's part of the campaign council that we're having in Osun right now.
You are able to talk him?
In short, he was even the first, he was among the first people to arrive at the venue and stayed all through to the end.
And you know his anger?
He's not angry. I was with him.
He's been angry with you, except if
he is happy.
Right now?
Yes. He's happy.
Because he's one of those who believe that the process
you watch him right there. Very happy, excited. Even when I came, he hugged me. I mean, forget about what you have on social media, what you see on TV, what people say outside. Yes, normal for anybody to express anger after losing primary election.
Is that the reason why you feel and you believe that your party must win Osun at all costs? Yes, that there is an inference in your voice that you tend to think that
confidence.
Your Osun is a must win for your party.
Yes, we as a party will put in everything that we need to win the election,
including the use of the power of the state.
No, wait, listen. We've done our researches. We've seen our weaknesses. We've closed all those gaps. We've put our strategies on ground. The same thing within Ekiti and other states, and we predicted areas that we can win, areas we may lose. We've done a lot of strategic meetings to ensure that we win this election. And everything we've done on ground is pointing at going to win the election. Everything
does it also answer to the reason behind the kind of people that you put in the campaign council? Opposite Odrima of Imo State, May Malabuni of Yobe State, Barau of Kano State. What exactly was behind the combination of all of these people?
Very simple. Osun has some cosmopolitan communities, having tribes across the country. We have the Hausa community, very dominant in that place. We have the mostly from Kano and some of the neighboring states. We have the Igbo community, very dominant in trade and around the place. We have people from Kogi, the Ibras, who are also farming the community. So what do? We make a team that reflects the national color, all tribes, all shade of opinions. That any voter in Osun looks up and sees the team. He sees his person in the campaign team. That's all we've done. And we've done the same in most of our elections.
Not because you think that these are the people, machinery that can win, that can make the election.
But of course, they have the experience of managing elections. They have experience of managing elections. All processes are being managed, just like you now. This program, this program we're having now, it's being managed. You have the technicians. You have your program manager. Even you yourself, you have been trained. So if I must have this program to be good, I must get some experienced hands that will come in, mix with some people who are also learning the processes, add them together and put them together, and you're sure you can have a good output. The
popularity of Senator Adeleke, does it not dwarfen the chances of your party?
Which popularity?
The dancing senator of Osun.
So dancing translates to good governance? I was there.
So your party want to root him out?
I was there.
Is that your plan? To take him out by all means?
I was there. I drove on the roads. Yes, you roved.
Even the ones we saw him on live television today, inaugurating?
But inaugurating is different from implemented. You're inaugurating a new project because elections are coming. But we're talking about project that you've done already that can be seen. I was there.
So you don't think Adeleke has done anything?
No, not as he, what he has done is not enough to warrant him coming back. You can't tell me that a governor has done nothing really, but with the kind of money that the federal government, after the policy, after our reforms, and so much money is going to the state, we expect the governors to do more. And so what we're having in Osun is a similar case that we need to improve good governance in those states. And we're asking people of Osun, see, this is what we've given your governor. This is the only thing he has done. If you give us opportunity, having this amount of money, we can do this. And that's what is driving the campaign.
But Governor Adeleke is said to be in talks with your party. He's supporting President Bola Tinubu for 2027.
Supporting the president...
Does that alliance mean anything?
Supporting the president, it's just like you, Sheun, you may like me as a person, and you're in opposition. It doesn't mean that on election day, I'll go with you. On election day, I'll do the needful.
So you don't care if Adeleke is supporting President Bola Tinubu for 2027, you still take him out?
What we're talking here is we want to bring in good governance. Our candidate is far better in terms of experience, in terms of exposure, in terms of governance. He has been there before. He has started from the private sector, coming back to become a commissioner of finance. He managed finances well, moving back to manage the Nigerian waterways, and policy he implemented. We're bringing him back after all this exposure, private sector, governance, national and state level governance experience. We're bringing him back to the state so that he can inject energy and good governance in the state.
This election is a bit personal to you. Your right-hand man in the party, the national secretary, Mr. Senator Ajibola Basiru, who is also a major stakeholder in the Osun State politics. Very cerebral PhD law, and he's being a senator representing the city is represented, Osogbo, in the National Assembly. And also the relationship of President Bola Tinubu with the former governor and the minister, the sitting minister, those who say this election is particularly very personal to you and the APC, largely not only because of Ambo, but also because of the likes of Ajibola Basiru and the minister. That's why your party want to ensure that you take this by all means. Why is this a win at all costs for your party?
You said being personal. All elections, as national chairman, all elections are personal to me.
But this one they say is particularly personal.
Not particularly. All elections are personal.
This is a victory to Ajibola Basiru. This is a victory personally to President Bola Tinubu.
And
this is a victory personally
to Osun also, the Osun people also.
But there are those who will vote against your party.
Normal. So, but we have most who are going to vote for us.
Why must you take this by force? That's the
not by force. Tell me
one. Are you seeing the thuggery and the killing and the violence that is going on, allegedly being done by members and political thugs of the APC?
Can you bring one evidence? Can you bring one evidence? Can you one evidence? Can you give one evidence?
Those are the words of the Accord party in the state.
But these are the words, accusation. They couldn't. He's the said governor. Direct an investigation. Arrest the people who are involved. If truly you claim they're from APC.
Professor, give us an understanding. If your party loses this election, what does this mean?
I know we'll not lose. Because from all, like actually, from all the facts, and I don't want to even dream that we'll lose. Why should I say we'll lose the election?
We can win or lose?
When I know, no. When I know we can win. You mean you're going to this program that you know it will fail? I'm going to write exams, and I'm sure I'm going to win. I'm going to pass the exams. And then you tell me that I should assume I'm going to fail the exam. I can't assume what I know I'm going to win, and then assume I'm going to fail. How do I make an assumption of what I know is not right? I have my data. We're party that data-driven. We've done our analysis.
You've done the polling?
We've done the polling.
What did the poll tell you?
I shouldn't tell you. I shouldn't.
Is it telling you that you are lagging behind, or is it telling you that you're a step ahead?
We're far ahead. We're going to win.
Okay.
Our polls show that we'll win.
There has been this criticism coming from Mr. Atiku Abubakar, who says President Bola Tinubu cannot win a truly free and fair election because Nigerians have become disillusioned with the government's performance. And Mr. Peter Obi has also said that the president is simply tired. He needs to retire. Are you going to listen to the opposition and do the bidding of the opposition? Retire your president or your candidate in the 2027 election and say, look, this disillusionment that Atiku Abubakar is talking about, yield to the voice of the advice of Atiku Abubakar.
That what?
That your party should just retire the president according to Peter Obi.
Now, but let me start with the article. So when he won the election with President Obasanjo in 2019, what were the factors? He won with the president also. He came back to work with Tinubu in 2007, and they lost. He still left and went back to PDP, returned back to APC again in 2015. He lost the primary election. Ran away and went to PDP again in 2019. He lost the election. Moved and stayed in PDP in 2023. He lost the election. He has now moved to ADC. I don't know how many political parties have moved. I can't even put a finger on how many political party Atiku has gone to. And he has lost all of them. And lost squarely. And you mean...
You think he may not be lucky this time around? Buhari was 4th time lucky.
He's on 6th time unlucky then. But let me just put it this way to him. And to also Obi, who claimed that our president is tired. Is he going to go for boxing or 100 meters?
But the affairs of state need rigor. But the affairs of state is a serious business. But it needs.
Tell me that President Tinubu that you see every day staying from morning till evening in the office. I was with him last Thursday in the office. I knew he was there in the morning. He left in the night. That person who works from morning till night. And most of them even withstand the rigor. President Tinubu is even standing.
If you are not willing, if you are not willing to willingly and freely retire him as Peter Obi, what if the Nigerian people retire him?
You see, these are the issues we're talking about now. You mean these over 1 million and something students who are collecting student loan, who celebrated every day on social media, and they will be happy to have the president back, and a lot of parents who are wishing and looking for that their students may get admission next year, and they will depend heavily on President Tinubu through the Nat'l fund to have their children to school, to higher institution, and also have stipends that will support even them and their family back home. 20,000 every month. It means their prayers that the president should be retired. People that have the coastal roads from Calabar through Akwa Ibom to Port Harcourt, down to Lagos.
The road that is controversially appropriated.
Wait and listen. Now, the five DC ports. Is that okay? The 5 DC ports in Calabar, in Akwa Ibom, in Port Harcourt, in Ondo, in Lagos, that are wishing every day that for businessmen who are importing and exporting, who pay extra burden for their ship being docked in Cotonou, and they batch back to Nigeria, and they have additional costs and tax on it, and they're wishing that this DC port should be completed, so the cost of goods should be reduced, import for them should be reduced, and they're celebrating. You mean? I was with you, even watching, before you came in, I'm sure you watched the renewal of the ports, airports across the country. being done by the Minister of Aviation? You see how the airports have been upgraded? Or is it the gas pipeline that the AKK project to Ajakuta, to Kano, to Kaduna and Kano, is carrying gas and also carrying energy, carrying fertilizer along with the line, that people are waiting in the north anxiously because they're farmers and they want fertilizer to be available, and they want also power to be available because most turbines in the south are powered by gas. And they know also that this gas will also decongest the grid for them because all the powers from the south are being transmitted. People are looking for several projects.
What about the innocent people that are being kidnapped and killed in your home state of Plateau?
You know,
do you think they're happy with your party?
They're happy.
With your party,
they're
even
happy.
With the killings and the
they're
kidnapping?
Happy.
In Benue, we've seen one. In Kaduna, the president just told...
Shewan, let me put it to you this way. This crisis has been long-standing. The Plateau crisis started around 2001 till date. Now, the federal government is implementing policies that will improve security across the states. I'll give you, a typical example. Unfortunately, I sympathize with the families. I sympathize with my state, other people also who are in this condition. Frankly speaking, I sympathize with them. But that's why we're taking some bold steps. Bold steps that we have the state police, that we allow the state governors, state governments to recruit more hands, to improve intelligence gathering in communities. Recruit people who are within the communities, who knows their villages. Even if you bring CIA to Plateau State, without good intelligence, they can virtually do nothing. This policy will improve intelligence gathering, improve security within the communities.
Give me a moment, sir.
Yes.
Still ahead on the program, for the break, the economy, the opposition, the Tinubu-Shettima ticket, and the road to 2027. Is the APC relying on performance or political dominance to retain power? The national chairman of the APC, Professor Nat'l Yuwada, is still with me on the program. We'll be right back after this break, everyone. Join us again. Welcome back, everyone. The conversation tonight goes to the heart of Nigeria's political future with economy, governance, democratic freedoms, and the race to 2027 dominating national debate. Many Nigerians are asking whether the country is moving in the right direction and whether the political playing field remains open and competitive. Still with us is the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Professor Nat'l Yuwada. Thank you so much, Prof, for your
Thank you, Sean.
Let's pick it up from where we stopped.
Yeah.
The APC has argued that there is that the pain, and you have told me that the pain that Nigerians are experiencing is momentary. Yeah. But it's 3 years plus. Now, the pain still continues for a lot of people who cannot afford adequately to provide for their family because of dwindling capacity for purchasing, the purchasing power that have dropped, the ability, the prices of commodities in the market. When will this pain end and when will the gain come?
Sean, let's begin to count the gains for now. Let me start with the social investment program of the government.
I'm talking about the purchasing power, which is predominant, which sits in the heart of the microeconomic.
That's why I'm coming now.
Of the daily lives of the well-being of the people.
That's why I'm coming now. We have the youth credit program by the government that allows youths to access credit at 1.25%, the lowest ever in the history of Nigeria, being given a credit of between 200,000 and 2 million to young Nigerians who have startups to get and start their businesses across the country. Same thing also, the credit scheme that be organized for both civil servants, government, and low-income earners, also available. It has been launched. People have already started accessing it. People can access credit also at no interest to civil servants and other low-income earners. We have also the student loan also to support this vulnerable group of people also. They can also access the student loan and school. So, which means that most of the parents who are supposed to support their children's education has been taken off. Most of the SMEs who are supposed to pay, before now, you see even government going after women who are selling small, nano businesses to pay tax within their spaces. All those things are gone because of tax reform now, freeing space for nano and small businesses to do their business without being taxed. And like freeing those space for them, free more money for them. I recall when I was in the university as a lecturer, my tax was 24% as a professor. But today, that tax has been dropped 21%. And the salary I used to earn then was around 400,000 as a professor. Today it's over ₦1 million. So, so all these are spaces being created to ensure that people at the lower end of the society have access to more funds in terms of those tax relief that we give the people. In the same way also, goods and services have not been taxed. Education, materials are not taxed. Health materials are not being taxed. Agricultural materials are not being taxed. So that even building materials are not being taxed, because these are the basic things that the low-income people need to start life. To have access to food, have access to education, have access to health, have access to homes. These are all policies of government to ensure that we support the vulnerable people. Apart from the social investment program of the government, that will pay, because most of the program you are having now are to start businesses, to start homes, to build an independent, not just handouts now, these programs now, but we also have the handout program of government, which we are doing also. Apart from the health insurance scheme that we're also supporting the low-income earners, 12,000 per annum for a family, for a household, to access health all year round. All these programs are aimed at supporting the vulnerable people. So most of our government programs as it is now are already supporting the vulnerable people. So if you ask me, the purchasing power, we are placing more cash in their hands. Money that was collected as tax is now free for them. Money that has been collected through taxation for housing, for agricultural products, for several other things that medication materials, they are all no more tax, so that the cost of those things automatically drop on their own. This free of resources for the people who are at the lower end of the society.
But Prof, the statistics and the figures released officially by government-run agencies show otherwise. It shows that your government has performed poorly and woefully. Let me give you the statistics, sir.
Yes.
Nigerians living below the national poverty line is about 63% of the population. 79% of the Nigerian populations are Nigerians who are poor.
Sean, can you correct
just
it?
a moment, sir.
Sean, can you correct? It's multidimensional poverty.
Yeah. So, but I mean, does that make
Yes.
Because
Yes.
the figures, the figures keep getting bad. Just let me land on this question, sir. The ultra poor people are 33% of the population. 7 million more people are now estimated to have fallen into poverty line in 2025. 15 million household people are now within the poverty bracket. These figures are now being bedeviling our country just in the years that this government has come into power. It goes against all of what we have read, which are microeconomy leaning. The microeconomic side of things are looking very bad. There are more poor people under the Tinubu government. That is what the figures are telling us, Prof. Isn't it showing that your government has failed woefully? More poor people, 7 million of them.
Now, let me
in 2025 alone.
That's the mistake most people normally make with this data. When you look about multidimensional poverty, it's about access. Access to education, access to health, access to water, access to infrastructures. It's about access. Now, when you talk about access, you talk about access to education, for example. The primary and secondary education are only being supported by federal government. They're at the state level, they're at local government and state level. So there are certain programs that are not federal government driven. They are state and local government driven. And they are part of the reason why we as a government were driving towards freeing the local governments, that more resources will go to the local government. They become more independent, so they can drive those policies that can reduce this poverty of access. Access to water is by local government and state. Access to education is by local government and state. Access to health, primary health, is at the local government. So most of
these states are controlled by your party members. The president didn't promise that. He said we should blame him for all what happened under him. He's 3 years into his 4 years mandate. And the president said, hold him accountable. He promised Nigeria that he's going to get things done. I'm putting the figures to you. 7 more people. Leave the multidimensionally poor people. I'm talking about the more people, households that have been dragged into poverty bracket. 7 million more people, Nigerians, that have been poor in 2025 alone. This is against what your party promised. I'm asking you about what your party promised 3 years ago.
That's the promise we're making. You know, Shehun, at the national level, it is policies at national level that drives the activities at the state and local government. There are policies that are implemented by federal government. There are some that are implemented by state and some implemented by the local government. And that's why I'm telling you that we came with policies that will give more resources at the lower level.
But the policies are the results are not positive yet.
Now.
Are we going to see the results being positive before the end of 4 years?
Of course, a lot of them are already
They're going to be able to turn
a lot of them are already
7 more million people that are now poor, rich.
Shehun, and it's the same thing I'm telling you. If we said that we're growing, if we said the macroeconomic indices, are they right? The answer is they are right. And within this period you're talking about, maybe when we're talking about within the period that we made these figures and today, what has changed? More money has been driven down to recruit and employ more people. A lot of infrastructures are ongoing across the country. Recruiting and employing more people. More funding is coming today.
Are you asking Nigerians to be more patient with your party? Is that what you're asking tonight?
Not just with our party, but we've turned most of the figures right.
But they are not seeing it yet.
These same people who
are you telling Nigerians to be more patient? Those who are watching tonight who don't have a hope of what to eat tonight. What are you going to tell them?
Shehun, listen to me. These same people that give this figure to you, we should use the international agencies that gave this figure. These same agencies are saying the government has taken the right direction. In the World Bank, the IMF, international rating bodies, they said Nigeria is in the right
although
direction.
They say that some of the figures in your budget, we cannot find them, we cannot see them. They're opaque.
Shehun, let's take them one by one.
You're running 3 budgets in one single year.
Shehun, let's take them one by one. You put up figures.
Would you mark this
Wait, listen. Let me take these figures first. No, you take figures.
If you were to
let me take the figures. Let me take the figures first.
Would you grade it good?
Of course, but let me take the figures first. The same bodies, rating agencies, from the World Bank to IMF to different international bodies that give these figures we are using, so that the government has taken the right direction, and that the macroeconomic indices are all bright, and you all know that. The GDP is growing by 4%. Our stock is the highest in terms of growth and return on investment. We're the best stock globally right now in terms of return on investment. Also, the same people are saying that our GDP is growing. Now, if all the indices that can make an economic growth grow are all positive, and they said you can only have the micro when the macro is good. Right. You cannot have the micro right without the macro. And has the macro improved? The answer is yes. But what you should also look at is that what was the rate at which poverty was growing in Nigeria? And has it slowed down? Those 7 million people have gone into poverty, but at the rate it was growing, has it reduced? The answer is yes.
Prof, because I just have about a minute or thereabout to close the program. You are a Christian from Plateau State in northern Nigeria.
Yes.
As much as I hate to talk about politics of religion and ethnicity, but it's still a major factor for consideration in our politics today. If you talk about Taraba, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Plateau, you're talking about those who are very sensitive to the conversation around the sensitivity to to religious.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people are now bringing back the conversation, which really affected your party in 2023 as to the Muslim ticket.
Yeah.
You, for example, as a Christian in northern Nigeria, what do you tell your brethren about your party? Is your party that is sensitive to the religious tendencies and sensibility of the Nigerian people?
But that's why I'm here. I'm a representative.
You are not on the ticket.
But I'm not. But I'm part of the party.
So you are not on the ticket.
They are contesting on my party.
So Nigerians should forget whether or not it's a Muslim ticket.
Let me just tell you, there's no Christian in the north that will say he's been molested because of the Muslim ticket.
There are reports that saying otherwise.
Listen, we are fully represented in governance, in appointments. The Minister of Defense is a Christian from Kaduna.
So Christians have been...
No, wait now. The SGF is a Christian from Benue. I'm a Christian. You know, the number of Christians, even as ministers, even head of agencies from the north, is quite reasonable and good. We are fully represented. And most Christian communities are happy with President Tinubu because of the way he has, you know, carried them in terms of governance. And they're happy.
So you are saying Christians are compensated already in the Tinubu government?
Not compensated, they're being carried along.
All right. Finally, just in 30 seconds, if we may close, what would you tell Nigerians when you get to the polls in 2027? What would be the APC's strongest argument? That you have not delivered just yet, you are promising them to deliver?
No, we're not promising.
We're
not promising, Sheun. Sheun, we promised a $1 trillion economy. 2024, the GDP was $252 billion. Today, it's roughly about 370 billion US dollars, between 350 and 270 estimated. We've added over 100 billion.
What if the Nigerians pass a referendum on your party and they vote out your party in 2027?
They will not, because they've seen the figures, they've seen the number, they've seen the roads, they've seen the gas project, they've seen the dams, they've seen several projects, they've seen the social protection program, they've seen reason. Every household, most households in Nigeria, they have reason to vote our party.
Prof, we're totally out of time. Professor Nentawe Youthwada, never going to get him angry or upset. Just try to, as much as you try. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
National Chairman of the APC. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Wakimale. God bless Nigeria.